Hi, I'm Dawn Fountain. I am the vocal music teacher at the Clearwater Intermediate Center. I teach for USD 264. And so I will talk to you a little bit about the assessments that we use. We do not have, as of yet, an assessment matrix, but we're very hopeful to have one by the beginning of the school year next year. It is something that they're working on. We have a new curriculum director, something he really wants to get put into place before we start school in the fall, which will be wonderful. Our district currently uses the following assessments. Overall, we use the NWEA or MAPS assessment, which stands for the Measures of Academic Progress. This is an online assessment. It's aligned to the core common standards and used specifically for math and reading. What's amazing about this test is it reveals how much growth occurs between testing events, and when we combine it with our norms, we're able to also see the projected proficiency. Teachers take this information and use this to track growth throughout the school year. It's given once in the fall, the middle of the year, and then again in the spring. One thing that I personally like about this assessment tool is not only do we have that year's progress, but we can go back for every year that they've taken it in the past. So if a student is progressing very well and all of a sudden they hit a certain grade level and they stop progressing, we can take a look at when that was and try to find out a little bit more about what's going on and why that's happening. In our specific building, the Intermediate Center grades 4th, 5th, and 6th, we use heavy emphasis on the Ames Web Plus for benchmark and progress monitoring. The Ames Web, if you're not familiar with it, is made up of 3 tiers, the highest tier being the green tier or tier 1, the yellow tier, tier 2, which basically is the level that everyone in the classroom is taught. Everyone's taught on that tier 2 level. And then the last tier is tier 3 in that red, kind of our red flag, so to speak. If you're in that tier, we take a really close look at you. We also progress monitor those red tier kiddos every week. It's important for us to be able to progress monitor those kiddos and have a good fluid system for them. If they have 3 data points above their Ames line, they're able to move back and forth between the tiers and or move up in the tier, I should say. So it's important that we progress monitor them once a week. In the yellow tier, we progress monitor every other week. And we use these tiers to sort out our MTSS groups. We provide 30 minutes of MTSS a day for reading and 30 minutes of MTSS math a day as well. So the first hour of our day is spent on MTSS, and using those sorts, we go for a 6-week period, and then we retest again and do a resort for our MTSS groups. The green tier, the tier 1 in MTSS, is the group that we use for enrichment. So those kiddos that are in a green group in reading are going to go to a novel or something above and beyond what they would get in the classroom. If it's in math, then they're going to get things like robotics, those types of things. Those kiddos in that tier 2 or the yellow group during MTSS, we focus on a specific area. Like especially in math, it might be measurement and data 1 6 weeks. It might be fractions 1 6 weeks. It might be I'm going blank, but I think you get the idea. And so then we progress monitor again for that resort, and hopefully we can. That middle group gets basically an extra boost in what they've already learned for a specific time period. Then our red tier 3 kiddos. They have, for reading, we use iStation, and that if they're low in fluency, comprehension, or phonics, they will get that extra attention in that area that they need. And we also have a resource teacher that is designed specifically to help with those kiddos in a red group, to try to bring them back at least to that yellow group so that they're on grade level. For math, we use Front Row, and it is an online program, which is wonderful because they take a benchmark assessment on whatever area we're working on, and then wherever their benchmark is, they start testing and giving questions based on their knowledge. I did fail to mention on the NWEA, or the MAPS test, it also will do the same thing. If once a question is answered, if it's not correct, then the level adjusts to where the child is. So we get a really accurate read of the knowledge that they have or don't have. Overall, as a school, we do use state assessments, K through 12. 4th through 6th are giving assessments in reading and math. 5th grade takes an additional assessment in science, and 6th grade takes an additional assessment in social studies. Our PE teacher uses the PACER to evaluate students' capabilities. We give it once a month, starting in August, and we run it through the end of May, and we are able to see where they're at when they come in, and then allow us to set goals to really push them on to that next level or to continue progressing. Since I am the music teacher, we don't have a standardized music assessment that we use, but what I do is I test on the 7 standards of the Kansas State standards, or the National Music Standards, and I will pick 2 or 3 of those per 9 weeks so that they get all 7 of those in there for the year, and then they will be assessed on whatever standard we're working on for that year, or that 9 weeks. And then I break it down one step further, and we go to the kind of overall standards of performing, responding, and creating. And performing, responding, and creating is assessed each 9 weeks all year long. So we get to see if there's any growth in those areas. It also helps me, since I teach 3 levels, and next year probably I'm going to be teaching all the way up to 8th grade. It'll be a great place for me to see where those kiddos are to start out the year, and where I want to start with information. Let's see. I did want to mention something interesting about our district. They are not 100% sure about standardized testing and how they feel about that. I think their biggest concern in the district is, does it really give us an accurate view of what every kid is capable of? There's those kiddos that might do great on a daily basis. They might be in the green, but when they take a test, they have test anxiety, and their scores don't really show what they know. There's a lot of controversy in our district over that right now, and it's something they're taking a look at. But with the KISA process in place, they're thinking about if they want to continue that. So that, to me, is a very interesting point, especially after everything that I've read about assessments. But overall, I would say that in my building, for sure, the Ames web that we are using for progress monitoring and for benchmarking is really an excellent assessment tool for us to target the specific needs of each individual child. And also, I like the fluidity of that test. of the progress monitoring piece of it, I should say, because we do that on that lower level once a week, and the mid level every other week. And I think it's important for those kids not to feel like they're stuck in that red level. And if they are stuck there for too long, we really work hard to get them into what we call a GEI process, which is General Education Intervention. And we will come up with ways that we can continue to help that child. So I believe that the assessments that we use in the district are good tools, and we utilize those assessments in a very positive way to help our kiddos grow the best that they can as quickly as they can. So I think that's it for our district, and thanks for watching.